Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Be a Better You Annual Challenge Day 354. And today we're talking about and doing a physical roundup. What the heck's a physical roundup? Well, we have the 9-part life framework: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. And we're taking a day, and it only takes a couple of minutes to do. So if you're saying, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do this, I guarantee that throughout your day, you can spend the total of maybe 5 minutes that it takes to come up with these 4 answers to these 4 questions that we're asking yourself about this past year, our physical health and well-being, and how we want it to be next year. So what's a roundup? A roundup is just an assessment of how this year went with respect to wins. And I want you to capture as many wins physically as you can and write them down. Why? Because that tells the world and the universe and yourself and your subconscious that you want to create more of that in your life. Number 2, we're going to look at our lessons learned. Now, I don't know about you, but I learned a lot of lessons during the year. But I just want to think of the 3 biggest lessons that I learned this year with respect to my physical health and well-being. I already know them because they're popping in the top of my head right now. Number 1, you got to exercise and move every single day. I've exercised every day for, I don't know, going on since 2010, end of 2010 when I had my sudden cardiac arrest. So from then on, I exercised every day with the exception of 3 weeks in 2017 when I could not get out of bed and walk. And the last year or 2, I've gotten really not as consistent as I always was. And so I want to get back to that. And exercising for me, it might be, it's winter here in Wisconsin, riding the exercise bike for an hour or going for a walk around the park, etc. But, and I really love my walks around the park. I just got to get brave enough to get bundled up and go out in the cold, right? Cold air is not going to kill me. It's just going to make me feel cold and shivery. So lessons learned. Capture 3 of those. And I capped that at 3. I say, think of all the wins you possibly can and brainstorm those throughout the day. And I'm talking little wins, big wins, whatever makes you feel good about yourself. Those are the ones you want to just capture. Hey, maybe you were consistent on social media for the first time in your life this year, and you made sure you posted once a month, once a week, whatever. Maybe you did live videos. You know how many people, well, the vast majority of people will criticize other people's videos, but never actually do one themselves. So capture those. But I say at 3 because otherwise we tend to relive those negative parts of the lesson that we had to learn instead of focusing on the lesson that we learned. Biggest challenge. What is the one biggest physical challenge you have still remaining at the end of this year that you want to make sure that you tackle next year? And I would love if you would share those in the comments below, because then as we go into next year's annual challenge, I will guarantee that we will knock that out of the park and get rid of that once and for all for you. And then what's next? What are the top 3 things physically that you want to do, be, have, acquire, goals, just items? Maybe you want to move your home. Maybe you want to simplify your home, physical environment, and life. Maybe you want to go on a social media or media detox. That's one of the most powerful things we can do is shut off outside voices and outside influences that absolutely positively do not have our best interests at heart, right? So what are those top 3 things? So massively, all the wins that you've had physically this past year. Lessons learned, 3. Biggest challenge, 1. What's next, 3. So any questions about this? I like to look at, I rate on a scale of 1 to 10 and rank at priority wise 1 through 9 each of these areas and aspects of my businesses, my life, everything, probably twice a year now. I think I've gotten to the point where I always do it twice a year. So at the beginning of the year in January, I prioritize and I rate on a scale of 1 to 10. So for physical, I gave myself a 5- at the beginning of the year and a 6 now. And is that where I want to be? No, I always want to be around an 8 or a 9. I have long since have given up the idea that I need to be in top 10 physical Olympic professional athlete shape. Never been a thing for me, but I'd like to be at an 8 instead of a 6. So priority wise, I had actually set physical health and well-being at the beginning of the year at an 8 because I thought I had all my habits and all my systems in place to just automatically do that. Now I did improve a little. 5- to a 6 is a slight improvement, but I want it to be better, right? We always want to continually improve and be better. And then as far as about a week or so ago, when I reprioritized, this came up as number 3, which tells me I need to pay more attention to it in the coming year. So that's it. I did pull a card, our last card from the deck, getting into the vortex about relationships. And today's is, if I can find a magnifying glass, I will read it to you. I may not be able to. This one's pretty small and dirty, but we'll see. I can get from an unwanted to a wanted relationship. So, what does that say? I'm not going to read the back. It's super tiny. I will read it with my giant magnifying glass later. To me, it says, if there's something in your relationship that you want to keep the relationship, but there's unwanted things, you can change those to wanted things, right? We have the power to do that. This is Power Thoughts from Louise Hay. These are affirmations, of course. She was, I think, the affirmation queen. And then it says, I am empowered and confident. I hold my head up high. I like that. We should always be empowered and confident, right? We should always have the knowing that we're going to figure it out. Everything works out perfectly for us because the universe really is rigged in our favor. And the other one is, I am capable and organized. My efficiency is more than ample to get any job done, which is kind of like, whatever comes my way, I'm going to figure it out. I'm a problem solver. I got this. Things like that. So those were today's. I don't know if I'll pull cards tomorrow. I think I might just shuffle the deck and then we'll see for between now and the end of the year what comes up. Be interesting to see if certain things come up again, because I'm pulling cards in a school community I'm in every day because they're super fun. And I have had so many duplicates, but here's the thing. If I'm getting a duplicate card and message, it's because I'm not doing it, right? It'll be something like you're not clear or you've already determined what you want, but you're letting your subconscious and things get in the way and distract you from being in alignment with that. Long story. All right. If I can help you in any way, hit me up and ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day. And I'll, of course, see you tomorrow. Bye.